I am Kevin Coleman with the Santa Post, and I'm here at Veterans Memorial Park with Bob Leach. What's your full title?
I am the chaplain of the Ross County Veterans Honor Guard. I'm also one of the commissioners for the Ross County Veterans Service Commission. But I had the honor of being the speaker today at the Memorial Day ceremony for 2025. And this was a very significant date that it happened to fall out that this is May 24th, 2025. Because one of the names on the World War II memorial, Robert Riley, was born 100 years ago today here in Ross County on May 24th, 1925. So I chose the theme of my speech to talk about the importance of remembering our fallen heroes, and that a person dies when they take their last breath, but death is final when their name is no longer spoken or remembered. And this was a wonderful opportunity to talk about the importance of recognizing one of the war dead from Ross County on what would have been his 100th birthday. Robert Riley was born in Huntington Township on this day in 1925. Enlisted in the Army in 1943 on April 9th, and was assigned to the 9th Armored Infantry Battalion of the 6th Armored Division. His unit trained here in the United States at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and then at Camp Cook in California. And after that time, his unit deployed to England. They crossed the channel and landed on Utah Beach on the 18th of July, 1944, about 6 weeks after the D-Day landings that are so famous. Unfortunately, only 3 weeks later, Private First Class Riley was seriously wounded in action. Initially, he was at a hospital in France where one of the administrators, probably a combat nurse, wrote a letter to his mother that explained he had been wounded. But the letter was upbeat. It said he was being treated well and he expected to be able to eat under his own power in not too long of a time. However, we know from history his condition worsened and he was evacuated to a military hospital in England. And he died there on August 20th, 1944. The awards and decorations that he earned, most of them were posthumous, but he was entitled to the Bronze Star Medal because he was a combat infantryman in the European theater. The Good Conduct, the Purple Heart would be next. That was because he was wounded and that wound resulted in his death. The Good Conduct Medal. Then he had the American Campaign Medal for his service in the United States before he deployed. The European Campaign Medal with 1 battle star, that being for Normandy. And then finally, he would have been posthumously awarded the World War II Victory Medal. In 1948, his mother made the decision to have his body exhumed from the military cemetery in England and returned to the United States. And in 1948, July 24th, Private First Class Robert Riley was buried in Twin Cemetery, which is next to Bournville. It was an honor to be able to tell his story today and talk about the importance of remembering all of our war dead on Memorial Day, and especially highlighting the fact that in the not too distant future, the area on the other side of the trees that are to the south of Veterans Memorial Park will be the Chillicothe Ross Military Tribute Museum. And in that museum, we will have the stories of every name that's on these monuments, in addition to Private First Class Riley. And of course, we have a lot of veterans who survived the wars, and some of them brought back memorabilia, which will be on display in this museum.
And while we're here, well, you pointed out Robert Riley is...
So Robert Riley, Robert D. Riley, and the date of his death was August 20th, 1944. He had been wounded on August 5th. And then, of course, it says in France, although you know from history and what I was just explaining, he actually died in England, but his mortal wound was suffered in France.
And where are we at the moment?
We are at the Chillicothe Veterans Memorial Park. It's between Park Street and Yoctangi Boulevard, and we are about to kick off the Feast of the Flowering Moon Parade that'll start at 4:30. And after we've showed that, I will give a preview for what is to be expected on Memorial Day that people in the community might want to participate in.
And this right here, this is the World War II
This
memorial?
is the World War II memorial that was dedicated on September 11th, 2004, I believe it was 2005. And since then, the Vietnam Memorial was first added, and it's in the shape of the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. And then on the other side of the park, the Korean War Monument. And in that direction, we also have a monument to our Medal of Honor winners from Ross County, monument for our missing in action, and then the David Meade Massey Foundation, the oldest monument here, which is for all veterans of all the wars. In that area is where the Global War on Terrorism monument with the name of our 4 dead from that conflict will be engraved on that. And it was, 2004 was when the World War II monument was dedicated. So on Monday at 9 o'clock is the traditional kickoff time for the Memorial Day ceremony in Grandview Cemetery. It's by the gazebo, and the Sons of Union veterans are involved in that ceremony as well.
And they dress for the Civil War?
Normally they're in Civil War uniforms. The Honor Guard will be there in the uniform I'm wearing now. The Honor Guard will fire the traditional 3 volleys, rifle salute, followed by the playing of taps. And then at 9:30, the Honor Guard will repeat that process at St. Margaret's Cemetery. At 10 o'clock at Soldiers Circle in Greenlawn Cemetery. Just a few minutes after that, 10:15, we will go to Soldiers Square, which is the other military cemetery within Greenlawn Cemetery, and fire 3 volleys there. Then we will go to Floral Hills Cemetery, to their veterans section, and they've got a wonderful array of flagpoles there that we will fire by. Then the Hallsville ceremony, which starts at 11, we will depart Floral Hills and get there as quickly as we can. We may arrive after that ceremony has started, but Dan Kreider, who's been working on that ceremony, will work us in when we arrive and give us the opportunity to explain what we're doing. And then finally, the Navy Petty Officers Association in Ross County is in charge of a ceremony at Roland Cemetery, which many people may know that's kind of across from the fairgrounds if you come out onto 104 from the fairgrounds. So those are the activities scheduled for Memorial Day that involve the Ross County Veterans Honor Guard.
All right. How can people learn more about everything you talked about? Okay,
as we've talked about in previous years, expect the book that details the story of all of the 320 names that are on the monuments. Expect that published this year. Also, our Genealogical Society has a wonderful set of resources, and the Ross County Historical Society, I would put in a plug for that organization as a place where people can learn about our military history. And I know it's in the future, but the Chillicothe and Ross Military Tribute Museum will be an outstanding resource for people to learn things in the future.
All right, Bob Leach, retired U.S. Army. How do you phrase that?
Lieutenant Colonel, retired United States Army.
And also a former educator and
a leader. At Huntington School for a number of years, where Robert Riley was from Huntington Township, so I felt a connection as I put my speech together for today.
All right, and you feature in a lot of veterans events, volunteer events here.
Yes, indeed. And we'll be leading the parade that's going to start in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.